Hey, hello everyone. And we have new and fresh week starting tomorrow. So I'm going to quickly go over what I'm thinking about and any trade ideas I share here is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. You're responsible for managing risk and taking profit. And let's talk about a couple things before we move forward with the charts. Let's look at what's going on in the news right now and what to expect tomorrow with the upcoming week. So, we had a big news that winners and losers. We had the new bill passed, which is the Senate passes Democrats' landmark tax climate drugs bill. And if you go into what's there, key elements, so there is the breakdown here on Bloomberg. So I'm gonna quickly tell what's there. So there is minimum corporate tax. So it's really bad for tech companies. And bill imposes a 15% minimum corporate levy on companies that have traditionally been able to pay little or no taxes. So this means could be bad for Google, Facebook, Amazon, which basically don't really pay a lot of taxes, and it's gonna be bad for them. It's gonna eat from their revenue. And this is a new one, is stock buyback tax. So where what it means is that 1% tax on corporate stock repurchase. So if a company buys a stock of their own company, right, buyback programs, they will get taxed on. So this could mean that there could be more dividends, so they can avoid taxes, but still boost the price of the stock. And then we have for IRS, the crooks, we have $80 billion to add for them, and this will hopefully generate 204 billion revenue for them in the future. So they're gonna hire more people to enforce taxation, and find the people who are not paying taxes and hopefully get money from them. And then we have the winners here, electric car credits here, 4,000 tax credits. So it's back for Tesla, for General Motors, so it's good for them. And then we have renewable energy credits, so which means that it's good for clean energy, uh, production tax credit, solar panels, wind turbines, batteries. So clean energy, plug power, um, charge point, and all these names, solar names and phase, and then consumer energy perks. So again, this is for energy, affordable housing energy. Drug price, this one is crucial. So bill would direct the government to negotiate with drug makers for lower prices on certain medicines and cap what seniors pay. So this could affect the drug makers like Bristol Myers, Pfizer, and all the other drug makers. Um, so we'll see. We have to watch big pharma. And then finally the Obamacare premiums. And then let's look at what else. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Most so winners and losers of this. So winners are the wealthy, the private equity, niche, electric car makers, renewable energy, oil companies. Yeah, it's good for oil companies as well. New energy sources, and then IRS losers. I'm not gonna go political here. And then tech companies, which I talk about, and so this is what the bill is. Now let's look at um, other thing about the chips bill. Also keep in mind that we could see sell off in Taiwan semiconductor, because we most probably not going to, um, if it passes and everything goes well. What it means is that, okay, well, we are going to focus on domestic production of chips, and TSM is one of the biggest foundries of semiconductors in the world. And right now they have a biggest share, but that can decrease if US decides to go fully with the domestic production over time. And so let's look at what's there. This week we have on Wednesday CPI data being released at 8:30 a.m. And then we have wholesale inventories revision, and then federal budget. And then on Thursday we have initial jobless claims. So busy week. And then we have finally consumer sentiment index by UMH, which is also kind of important. So 3 important days with important data. Let's see what happens. CPI, does it come more than expected, less than expected? If it's less than expected, market can rip. If it's more than expected, then we'll see what happens. Market can still rip uh, higher. All right, let's go over charts real quick. So QQQ still at the resistance, struggling here at the same here at this resistance area. So anything above 325, we are looking at 328, 3-point move up, and then anything below 321, it's 320, my bad, we are looking at 318 and possibly even lower, maybe retest of this right here, 313 area, the breakout pivot. So that's what I'm watching. And we have RSI divergence forming on a lot of tech names here and right here. So tomorrow, with this news on the new taxation on some of the major companies, we'll see how it goes with the big caps. So QQQ is something to watch next week. Let's look at another thing here. Percent of stocks above 50-day average is right at 69.2, which is around 70. And every time we have seen it around 70 here, we have seen a pullback or sell off. And if it breaks through 70, then we can see a face ripping rally here all the way till 87% stock, like everything squeezing up. That can happen as well. And another one to watch is excuse me, a person stocks above 5-day moving average is still high, 61. Put to call ratio on equities here right now is actually 0.7. So it's kind of in the middle, nothing too concerning either direction. And another thing to note is that we have the housing price, HGX, housing sector, right? So when you look at the HGX here, it already kind of start to create a lower, like it broke down, and SPY actually is still up. And usually we have seen HGX kind of leading indicator. From last couple of times you saw here that HGX actually start to sell off. Even here HGX start to sell off, but SPY was actually up around these times. SPY was right here, SPY was up and HGX started selling, and then this started selling. So something to keep in mind. And then again, let's look at futures real quick. So futures right now are down a little bit. I mean, this can change easily. We are talking about down 5%. 5 points, which is nothing on ES. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the morning. Everything depends in the morning, I think. Let's look at the risky assets here. Bitcoin starting to look like it might break out here. If it breaks above 23,000, I mean, go back to 25, it's starting to curl up here with this kind of saucer formation, but it could break down as well with news. So it's a middle of nowhere right now. It's trending up though. You're seeing higher highs and lower highs here on the 4-hour chart. So but overall, if you look, it's just a big massive bear flag. That's all it is. So let's look at couple setups I'm watching. Let's look at, first of all, watching Bank of America here, BAC. Been watching it from last week. Nothing happened. We had a false breakout, came back in. So now just my range is a little bit above. So anything above 34.35 and anything below 32.8, I'm like up or down, doesn't matter. The squeeze is what's important on this one here. Let me refresh so I can actually see the squeeze indicator. Guess I disabled it. Okay, so where is it? I cannot find it right now, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. Okay, so we talk about all these names. Let's look at some of the setups apart from that. BAC. Now on the daily here, look like it's breaking out here, and the flow is really bullish as well for BAC here. Apart from some calls being sold, let me sort by premium here. You can see a lot of calls being bought for BAC. If you look at charts, you can see net premium is actually 85% bullish with a lot of leaps, 2023 and 33 call being hit the most. And if you actually narrow it down to, let's say, 21 days, you can see a lot of bullish activity with target on 34.5 strike. So bullish flow. Chart looks like it's breaking out, and the macro environment doesn't seem like it's favorable right now for yield curve inversion. But given the fact that banks have been sold off so big already, we could see them rip. We have had big sell off on banks and financial. So, and we did break out of this wedge, and now we've been consolidating. Can make move higher. If it does, it could be a big breakout. So that's what we are watching. If it's a false breakout, we are looking back down here, retest of these levels. But with everything breaking out, chances are these will break out as well. There have been green days are more volume than red ones in general. RSI seems to be breaking out as well. So overall chart looks good. Macro wise, hard to tell. Let's look at data, but overall, bullish chart. Next one I want to talk about is Pfizer. So with Pfizer, as I talk, we want to watch the big pharma. Pfizer has other news too. They are planning to buy, in advance stock to acquire global blood therapeutics. So how this affects them, for 5 billion, are they going to use the cash, and that's going to make them cash negative, or what happens here? Clean levels below 49, we are looking at 47.5, and all these pharma names are actually ABV actually broke down, but it's back to demand zone. We have Bristol Myers here, BMY back to demand zone. So all of them I'm watching here. If it continues to dump, we could see big dump. If it reverses here, so clean levels here, very small window here as well. So we could play either way, and depending on the market as well. But given the news of this, let's see how market takes it with the drug manufacturers, and Pfizer also have other news with the acquisition. So interesting sector to watch in my opinion for potential downside. And even Pfizer weekly chart is contracting here for a move either up or down. Chances are, the trend is to the upside, so it's going to go break out, but short term could go down, right? Anyway, apart from that, other one I'm watching is here Lucid. So Lucid, kind of bad earnings, bear flag here. This 18 support is holding from last 10 days or so, and if it breaks below this, we are talking about back to 16 or even potentially test of low. Bear flag, there's nothing much to talk about it. And let's look at flow for Lucid and PFE here real quick. So let's look at Lucid. Lucid also not many big orders. There are some bullish orders with into the close. We are talking about some calls being bought, and then same thing with Pfizer. Let's check. So with Pfizer, we have bearish flow, and then also if you go in the money, you can see there are a lot of bearish orders here. Some of them have already expired. So let's put the 0 and then go back here. So yeah, here Pfizer has some bearish orders. Let's look at Bristol Myers and ABBV, very similar. In the money put being bought here, 100,000K, and then there are some bullish orders as well. But look at this 85 put, and then we have 60 put, 73 put, 72 put being sold. So kind of mixed, and it makes sense because there is ABV actually has ABBV has a lot of bearish activity with a lot of 145 puts in the money puts being purchased. So it could see more sell off. There's also this one big order, so that's interesting, right? And we talk about BAC. Let's talk about the final one here, VIX. VIX on support here. VIX has been going down 7 straight weeks. Looks like VIX might start to pop back up with the CPI data. That's the one to watch for a potential long opportunity. If you look here, VIX did get big orders here on Friday here with the 35 call. 70 call, almost $8-9 million orders here for VIX. Um, Out of money calls being purchased here. They're buying time, but still big order here, very big order. Unusual order for VIX here. So these are all the things kind of to watch. There are some other names I'm watching with respect to news, like TSM could see sell off with the new chips bill I talk about, and Netflix tech name I'm watching, potential RSI divergence forming here, a bearish one here, RSI down, 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 and price going up, higher highs, RSI lower highs. Could see sell off with the news in the market. Could even bounce more. And then finally, we're watching FCX as well. So with FCX, good breakout here. Looks like it can continue here with this box breakout. We could see not much volume here, 32, and can rip back up. And looks like metals were squeezing the other day. We could see the squeeze continue on metals in general. So a lot of bullish orders here. I mean, look at this 30 call expiring in 5 days. Order came around 1, and spot price of 0.98. A lot of bullish orders here on FCX. So yeah, these are all my picks for the week. Clean setups, nothing much to think about here. FCX, BAC, BFE, things can change based on, these are my top 3, and then BMY, ABBV, others, Lucid, and things can change in middle of the week with CPI data releasing, but that's what it is right now. So hope you have a good weekend, and hope you have a really good week next week. Those who are in Discord, I'll see you there. Ciao.